Hello guys, welcome to this video. This is Joseph Tochi. You guys have always requested for this video and I'm so glad to give it to you, right? I've had a lot of questions. People have gone to my DM and they ask, how do you print a design done on smartphones, right? So that's what I'm going to be teaching you in this video if you stay through. This is basically an audio-based teaching, right? In my design class, I teach this much more extensively with a lot of illustrations and examples. I give a lot of sizes for different materials and designs. But what I'm going to be teaching you now is going to help you. It's going to help you know how to select them by yourself, how to select sizes for any design project. So I'm going to make it very short yet valuable for you. So let's go. Okay, the first thing I want to say is this: it is possible to print any work done on smartphone. It is it's 100% possible, and you can print it. I've been printing the smartphone designs, right? And my students are doing that very often. Like they do it frequently. Frequently, they post it on my design community, and they'll be like, I did this design with my phone. I printed it today. So, and I'll be like, wow, that you actually learned. So that's what I'm going to help you. The next design you can so you can decide to print your next design after watching this video and it will really look nice even if you are using your smartphone. So one thing you need to understand is that in smartphone it makes, especially in pixel lab, it makes use of pixels, right? It measures in pixels, and in measuring your design size it will have will have px is pixels, and then we'll have inches, we'll have feet, right? So you can select anyone, but when it comes to your smartphone, I think you are only limited to pixels. For you to do that on your smartphone, it's only you just have to know the equivalent of the pixels to the feet or the inches you are designing for, right? Because in printing machine would always make use of inches and feet, and because of that, if you are designing in pixels, you need to select the equivalent of that inches or that particular feet you are designing. So I'm just going to give you the numbers and then give you some tips on how you can actually make it come out, because you need to understand how you can make your sizes come out very well in pixel sorry yeah in your smartphones, right? So number one is when you want to design, first of all, you need to get the size from your client or whosoever you're designing for. Let the person tell you, okay, if person is looking for a banner, okay, the person is going to tell you, I want a 4x4 banner, right? Or the person is looking for a flyer, I want A4 flyer or A3 flyer or A5 flyer, whatever size the person want to use. So you get the size from the person. The first thing is knowing the size. Yeah, the person might give you the size in feet or in inches. That's not your problem, right? Because most times they don't measure in pixels and nobody really knows. So what you just need to do is to find out the pixel equivalent. Okay, let's say you're designing 4x4 of banner, right? So I'm going to give you this now. 1 feet equals, you can write it down, right? 1 feet equals 1152 pixels. 1 feet equals 1152 pixels, right? So what you're going to do is to multiply your pixels by the number of the feet you got. Multiply your pixels by the number of the feet you got. If the person is measuring in inches, or if you're measuring it in inches, one inch is equals 96 pixels. Your pixel is small, right? Pixels is small. So because of that, you're having that large number to those ones. So 1 feet. So what I said earlier, that 1 feet is 1152 pixels, right? So what you find in that's what we find in 1 feet. And then secondly, 1 inch equals 96 pixels. So if you're measuring in inches, you can measure, if you're measuring like 12 inches, right, which is 1 feet, you're measuring in 12 inches, you can now say 96 times 12, whatever it gives you, is the number you are going to put in that space of your image size, right? You have a place where you can select your image size on your Pixel app or even on your Canva or whichever app you're using on your smartphone. You have a place you can select size. That place, you have your width and have your length. If you're designing 4x4, that means your width and your height. Yeah, your width and your height they are going to be the same. So they're going to be like square. It's going to be like square. But if you are designing something like 3 by 4, or you are designing 5 by 4, right? That would be portrait. So that means the one will be bigger than one. Just note which one you are designing and with the size that you are going to put there, right? But I think the major point is you understanding that 1 feet is 1152 pixels, and the 1 inch is 96 pixels. Then you multiplying it and entering it into that place. Whichever number or whichever number it gives you is your answer. Whichever answer it gives you, that is what you should put there, right? But then there's something I'm going to clear out later in this video, and I'm going to go into it now. Because sometimes you can have a design printed out, and it will not come out the way you designed it. It will come out really bad. Sometimes it can be dark. It can just be kind of it won't just come out the way you expect it. And I'm going to tell you why it is like that and how you can make it better. Number one is, if you're designing with your smartphone, always design using light colors. Always design using light colors. When they print it, it's going to come down. The shade of the color is going to darken a little bit. And if you use light colors, it's not going to become very dark, right? It's just going to come back to the normal state of that color you were using. So let's say you are using orange. So what you would do to help yourself, don't use a very dark orange. If you are using blue, don't use a very dark blue. You can use that for your digital design. It is not going to be printed, but if you're going to print it, you're going to consider all of this, right? So don't use a very dark blue. Use a lighter blue, then not really too light, so you don't miss it. So just tone it a little bit, let it come up, let it not be very dark, right? And then you can now print it, and when you print it, it will come out really nice. And then secondly, another thing you can do to help your printed works come out really nice is understanding color in digital space and color in print, right? In your smartphone, I don't think there's no app. Not that I don't think, there's actually no app that can help you start your design in CMYK, right? In your smartphone, you can start your design in CMYK, and CMYK is used in printing machine, but you can design in RGB. RGB is used for designs in digital space, designs for the screen, but CMYK is used for print designs. So when you're going to be designing any work you want to print, you will design in CMYK. But because you can't do that on your smartphone, what you are going to do, you can just design on the RGB and let your printer convert it when he wants to print it. Just tell the person, let your printer convert it to the CMYK, which is the printing machine color code. So when the person converts it, it will come out really, really nice, right? So don't just put it like that in the printing machine and start bringing it out. It might become darker, or the color might even change to something else, right? So ensure that the color is converted from RGB to CMYK. So you're going to be working with a professional printer, someone that knows this. Every professional printer knows this, right? And some of them, you don't even need to tell them. They know that it should be converted. But just to avoid frustration and instead of assumption, you just need to tell the person, this is in RGB, please convert it to CMYK, and your issue is gone, right? Your design is going to come out nice once that is done. Okay, I think that's a few tips I can give you for now, and I really hope it helped. I already told you the size of each and size of feet in pixels. So what you have to do is just to convert it, put the equivalent. If you are designing 4x4 banner, just put 4,608 by 4,608, and it would come out nice like that. But then another thing I would like to say is this: whenever you are designing anything, always multiply it. Always multiply it. It's going to help your design become very sharp after printing. If you are designing an A4 design, if your design is going to be printed as A4, please design it in A3. If your design is going to be printed in A5, please design it in A4 and tell your printer to print it in A5. design it in A4. That means if you are designing a 4x4 banner, right, you are going to multiply it by saying 4,608 multiplied by 2, and then do the same thing on the other side. I don't know if you just get what I just explained. Multiply. What is going to help is that, because half of, okay, let me just put it this way. A4 is the half of A3, or let me say A5 is the half of A4. A4 is the half of A3. A3 is the half of A2. A2 is the half of A1. You can also go this way. A6 is the half of A5. Right? So when you divide A4 into 2, you're going to get exactly A5. If you divide A4 into 2, you get A5. Right? If you divide A3 into 2, you will get A4. One of those popular books they use A3 for is all these magazines, right? Magazines and brochures. They use A3 for them. And then when you divide it, you will get A4. You see that one page of it is A4 and the other page is A5. Sorry, the other page is A4. That is page 1 and page 2 is just A2, A4, which come together to make A3. So that your magazine or that your brochure is that those are bigger brochures, right? Those big magazines, average magazine size, right? So those ones, that is just a folded A3. That's what I mean when I say the A4 is the half of A3. So it's just a folded A3 that is just folded into 2, just folded equally. So the same thing when it comes to A5. So when it comes to A4, some of your novels you read, all those are short novels and small novels you use, they are A4, but they fold it and it's now looking short and small, right? So it's now A5. So it's now A5. When you close the book, it's A5. But when you open the novel, the average novel size, when you open the novel, it's actually A4. So it's combined. So to help your design, I just explained this to help you understand something. To help your design come out really nice when it's printed, increase the resolution when it is reduced. Now let me give you this illustration. If you have an image, when you zoom an image, if you take an image, if you take a picture with your smartphone, when you start zooming that picture, what happens? It starts getting blur. The whole pixel starts showing and it starts getting blur, right? So that's what happened in print. So to help yourself, so when you're bringing it to real life, right, your work might get blurry if you don't do this. Your work might not be too sharp if you don't do this. So what you do to help but when you now reduce that your picture you took with your phone, you find out that looking at it when it's reduced, it seems as if you're seeing the whole details. It seems as if it's very clear, right? Because you reduced it, but when you zoom it, it comes blur. So that's what you do in design, in printing, right? Design in A4. If you're going to be printing it in A5, let's say it's just a little flyer. No, those are small flyers, right? You're going to be printing it in A5. Design it in A4 since A5 is half of A4. But if you're going to be printing your design in A3, or you're going to be printing your design a banner in 4x4, you're going to multiply it. You're going to multiply the height and the width. Multiply it by 2. Right? That means 4,608 multiplied by 2. You're going to be getting around 8,000. Over 8,000. Then put it those two places. Right? Put it those two places, the height and the width, and design it. Then when you are going to your printing shop, or when your printer is getting it out, you tell the person to print in 4x4. Tell the person to print in 4x4. So what he will do is he will adjust it, he will just reduce it, right, to fit into 4x4 paper, right, to fit into 4x4 flex. And when the person reducing it will now bring out the clarity of the design. Just like when you reduce your image, the one you took with your camera, when you reduce it to the normal size, right, it gets clearer. So he will reduce it and will print it, and your design will come out really nice. Then lastly, the next thing you can do is to put your design in PDF. Put it in a PDF format, right? Put it in a PDF format. It is better to print it in a PDF format, and it is easier than to print it in image format. Sometimes the system might reject it, the CorelDRAW might reject it, right? So use PDF format, or better actually, or better you can use both of them. Maybe you're going there, just send both of them, whichever the one. And if you're sending the image, send it in document format. Send the image in document format. It will be easier to print like that, and it will make your design come out nice than just sending a random image. But it is always preferable you have the PDF, have it in a PDF, right? And you can convert your designs in PDF using some applications you can get there, or have a lot of image to PDF converter. You can check your Play Store or your App Store. You can get the applications like that, image to PDF converter. You can also do some browsing on Google, and you'll get some results, some applications that will help you do that. Convert it in a PDF and present to your printer, and let him do the rest of the work. So consider everything I've said earlier. So that's it about this video, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful to you, and if it was, just like this video so more people can see it, and subscribe to my channel. You are going to be getting more videos like this, and also videos that will help you sell your design skill better. All right.